What is happening? If anyone is here, thank you for being with me. I think Dylan's having some technical difficulties. So you get me, the one and only Jeremy E. World, for now. Doesn't look like anyone's here. Hopefully, people start rolling in any minute now. Yeah, I don't know where my boy is. Super excited, ready to go. Talking crap. There he is. My man.
I was in the wrong studio.
Oh, really?
I was in the launch one, yeah.
Freaking goo.
Hey, give me 2 minutes. My wife just pulled up with a bunch of groceries and it's fucking pissing rain out there. I'm gonna go help her real
Do
quick.
what you gotta do. Do your thing. I will keep Kenneth the lap. What's up, brother? See if I can keep you entertained for a little bit. Yeah, we are going to dive into what I'm just saying right now was absolutely, sometimes in the world of the UFC, mixed martial arts, we've all experienced it, where it ends up being, oh man, these guys are fighting, these girls are fighting. This is a headlining, this is the main card, this is a headliner. You pay that money, you watch it, and you're like, that sucked. That did not happen this past weekend, last weekend. Now, I will say, if you're a JDM fan, it sucked. You know what I'm saying? But as a whole, that card was stupid good. I'd have paid twice the money to watch that from start to finish, including the prelims. Kenneth, did you watch it? You get a chance to watch last week's UFC 322. For those that are just joining, maybe more rolled in, Dylan is being an awesome husband and helping out his beautiful wife, bringing the groceries in the pouring rain. Kenneth, you didn't watch it. Well, we're going to review it. We're going to go over how absolutely amazing it was. Do you not watch UFC? Are you here just because you're an awesome dude and you like to support other guys? Because let me tell you, man, especially, I want to say going into the new year, the deal with Paramount, it's like X amount of dollars for the year. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like once, maybe twice a month spending 80 or whatever it is for a UFC, you get the whole freaking kit and caboodle for, like I said, freaking, I don't even know how much money. I'm going to have to look into it, but it's definitely going to save a whole hell of a lot of money. So, yeah, dude, you should hop on the bandwagon. Jody, good to see you here. Friday fun, absolutely. We're going to keep you entertained as best as we can. Jody, I don't know if you heard, but Mr. Dylan, husband of the year, is helping his wife bring in groceries because it's pouring rain in his neck of the woods. But welcome here for the support. It's because you're a good dude, man. You are a good dude. As I think of like Savan chat people, Jody, KDL, there's like, I got like maybe I have to rank that one day, a top 10 of you guys that I truly and thoroughly enjoy in the chat, talking offline, whatever, chatting it up, DMing. You both are up there. So for whatever that's worth, happy Friday. Welcome to the Rear Naked Takes review of UFC 322. Why don't we talk CrossFit for a little bit? I just had one of my athletes. I want to cry. I'm so out of shape. Why do people get so like? CrossFit is hard. It's supposed to be hard. There's going to be ebbs and flows, right? This particular client of mine has had a knee injury, lingering a little. I don't think anything major, but enough to slow her down a little bit. And so she can't do all the things. We get it. We've all been there. But, man, you don't lose you might lose, like, the ability, I don't know if ability is the right word. You might lose the longing, the urge, the willingness to hurt right away when you get back. But as far as overall fitness, you don't really lose a whole lot, right? So I've been having to like talk her off the ledge, which I will have to after this show. I'm about to cry. I'm so out of shape. It's like, come on, you're fine. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Garrett. That's how I've heard Colleen say it a few times. Garrett. What's up? Good to see you. Glad you stopped in before you guys go live in a little bit. Mr. Dylan Garrett is helping out his beautiful wife, bringing the groceries, and chances are he's going to come back really wet. So, ladies, keep your pants on. Jody, driving to herd. FOMO, a little bit of FOMO. Not the greatest amount, but definitely a little FOMO because I would I would love to be able to join you guys. But is word on the street that you're not wet? Damn it, he's not wet. Do you not have headphones this week? Oh, he's grabbing them. Is anyone, Garrett, are you guys doing like a behind the scenes ish thing or what y'all doing? What y'all doing for that? Because pause. I made some. You won't believe this, but I made some sexual jokes about you. So Garrett saying pause. Tight. Garrett is doing.
The fuck does pause mean?
You don't know what, Gary, you want to educate him or should I do it real quick? So when someone says, no, I don't want to do that. When
you educated me last week, dog.
I did, didn't I?
It doesn't mean I understand it anymore. I think it's any less stupid.
Strong words, sir. When someone says like something that's not meant to be sexual, but then it ends up being sexual, typically you say pause, like so that everyone can acknowledge what was just said and we can all laugh like children.
Or we just laugh at it. Skip a step.
You're a man of efficiency, right?
I just can't fucking stand hip shit. Anything they fucking kids say or is in the zeitgeist of anything, I fucking can't stand any of it.
6'7"?
Yeah,
not a fan?
You make my head explode with that shit.
For real.
You know it's gotten so brain rot that the motherfuckers who created the bullshit, they're like, we don't even know what it means. That's the definition of that fucking stupid ass 6'7" shit.
I heard that the other day. Someone's like, well, we don't really know where it originated. It could have been some NBA player. He might have said his height. He did some of this, like it's like all this story. But then it's like, no, it actually was this. It's from a song. And I'm just
looked it up in the whole. It's a whole ironic thing. It's because nobody has a perfect definition of it or what it means or why it means or how it came about, and that's what's funny about it, and that is infuriating.
What Kenneth said or what you just said?
No, what I just said. Is that like you live in arbitrary land with nothing is defined and you just kind of like, oh. Hey, to be fair, I was that retarded too. But
we all were, bro.
We would have that stupid ass laugh at like dumb shit we'd do to our friends. Throw a firecracker underneath him. You know what I mean? When he wasn't looking. That's dumb as shit, but like it was funnier than fuck. But at least if we lived in reality. Now, like you're living in this meme world of like this fucking irony of just shit that's just nonsensical and doesn't fucking have any basis or meaning in anything. You like to get me fired up, don't you, Jeremy?
Chat's fault. I can't wait till you're 50 years old or you're gonna be like, get that.
I am 50. Kenneth Lap, what are your thoughts on gooning? Jesus Christ. I just learned that recently too.
Did you? Because I don't even know what that means.
I think it's just where you watch porn all day.
God, could you imagine that? Holy crap! I can't even like wrap my head around that. Groceries.
Yeah, oh well, that was from my time. A little bit more closer to my time, anyway. That's where you eat ass.
Groceries.
Yeah, because it was in a song like with Lil Wayne. Wow. Eat the booty like groceries.
Wow.
Yeah. It was closer to my time, so I know what that means. Although I don't use it, you know what I mean. Nor will I. But I'm pretty sure that's what groceries mean.
Interesting. Okay. I think KDL, I think Dylan just needs to practice tranquilo. Dylan is half beaner, so I think he knows what that means.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. Sure as hell don't look like it.
Jody
Anyways,
Lynn's in
what's
the
up?
chat? Oh, shit.
Yeah, Jody's here. She's driving the herd. You know, the Herd Fest coming up here
No.
this weekend. It's Herd Athletics. They make all the things, belts and all the things, you know. And they're doing a
So they're like the new
Day
two
con. I think they're trying to be. They're definitely trying to be. The guy was on, what's his name, John? Something like that. He was on Savan last week, 2 weeks ago, and super good dude. You'd like it. Super good dude. And he was just talking about what he does and the 100 hours a week he works because he does other things. He's got a family, all the whole 9 yards. Yeah, good dude. Good
That's
dude.
cool.
So yeah, she's driving there. Some Morgan Porter. I forget what her last name is now. She's competing, one of Taylor's athletes. So yeah, should be a good time. So it looks like she's going there. The Glintons are going to go do some behind the scenes and should be.
Oh, so the Glintons are going up there right now too, then, huh?
I believe so. Not right now. You know why I know that? Because when I went on YouTube this morning, and you already yelled at Garrett for this. I went on YouTube this morning to make sure our shit was up there still, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I see? I see Glinton things live at 5 or 6 your time, 6 Eastern time with Bill Grunler. I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll be able to compete with them for sure, Bill.
We can't compete with Glintons just if it was just one of them, let alone with Bill on there.
Right. So,
but they've been putting in work. They've been around for what, 2 years now? Like actual pod,
something like that.
Close to 2 years now.
They've been around for a little bit. No, it's a couple of years they've been around. We're gonna start.
I like Glinton's what do they call it, Sunday service or whatever.
Oh yeah, I love
they bring on John Young.
I love that. I love that. We're gonna start the show. We're obviously gonna get to UFC 322, but I'm gonna just pull something up I saw on my Instagrams, and we're gonna do first reaction. Like I'm gonna show you this, and then you're gonna be like,
show me a blue waffle.
I don't even know what that is, man. See, dude, I am so out of freaking touch, man. KDL, make the people choose. Yes, that's what they're doing. They have been on YouTube secretly for like 5 years. That's true. All right, so check this out. And honestly, dude, this is straight up your first reaction. And I'm not sure, maybe you've seen this, but someone posted it, some page posted it as a hypothetical possible future matchup. And I want you to tell me what you think and your thoughts.
You're trying to get me fired up, aren't you?
I already did. All right. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2. Can you see that?
Hold on. Make it bigger.
Chat, can you see that?
Oh,
I'm making it bigger on the screen. There we go. Maybe that helped a little bit. What is your first reaction we see? Thank you, KDL.
What
do you think of that?
I don't think they'll fight.
Ever.
No, because Hamzat's not going back down to 170. He's too fucking big. And Islam isn't going to go up to 180 or 185, I mean. So, and I think they're both going to move upward. Like Islam will do what he does at 170. He already moved up. Hamzat had floated between 170 and 185. He had always fought both, but I think he's too far gone now. He's a champ at 185. I think he's going to go up to 205. Guys that big don't go back down. Max was able to do it because, which I think the shots that he got hit by Ilya would have put anybody out, but surely fighting him at 145 didn't do him any favors. And he was looking good. He was looking pretty good.
Keeping Ilya away too, man.
And so I just think that he's a permanent 155er now, and just like Islam's not going back down to 155. Neither is Hamzat. They're going to go up. Well, I don't know if Islam will go up to 185. It's kind of those guys are huge.
I am very inclined to agree with you. Like, I think you're spot on. But just
plus, it's like Muslim Brotherhood. They kind of don't want to fight each other.
That too, yeah. That whole Dagestani freaking thing they got going. Well, I have one more thing.
Chechenian, but Chechen.
Close enough.
Well, he's from Chechnya, but I think you say that they're Chechens.
That sounds about right. KDL, fact check that for us. Let's just say in the world of make believe that people like to live in these days, that fight happens. How do you see that going? Now, I want to say, like, obviously, Hamzat is just bigger, right? Naturally bigger guy. So, but like, dude, you just saw Islam come up to a weight class and absolutely murder, wrestling-wise, the guy who was bigger than him. What do you see happening if this fight was to ever happen?
Was he bigger? I mean, Duplessis is like,
I think JDM's just naturally bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was confusing Hamzat. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So this fight, if it hypothetically ever happened, is this like an easy Hamzat's bigger, stronger, can wrestle? Typically, the bigger guy can out if he has the technique and the strength advantage, he usually will win. But I think Islam showed just how good of a wrestler he is, because Jack's no slouch when it comes to grappling and wrestling. He's not really a slouch. I mean, he kept Bilal off him like the whole 5 rounds. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the bigger guy typically wins. But, man, I don't know, man. I personally would love to see this fight. I think this would be a really cool fight.
I think it would be an awesome fight. But it would have to be at 185. So maybe we see it in the future. Maybe that's the move for if Islam defends his belt and Hamzat defends his belt. Maybe they fight for the BMF.
Oh, that would be cool.
But I guess if they both are title holders, they would just fight for a title. I don't know.
I think that'd be fantastic. All right, so I'm going to give you.
I think it's time we vacate. I think it's time we vacate the 155-pound division on the BMF.
You think? Say it again.
I think it's time to vacate the 180 or the 155 BMF. Like, it's been floating around the 155 division because that's where it started. I want to see it in a different weight class, I guess.
I'm with that. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that would 100%. That would be more appropriate, bigger weight class.
I certainly don't want to see Patty get that shit.
Patty Bimlett will never win that. He will never win any belt. Patty will not win a belt. You see how he has moved up? Let's take a quick pivot. You see how he's moved up? He went from 12 before fighting Chandler, 12. Then he moved up top 10, 8, 9, something like that, right? And then without fighting anybody, all of a sudden now he's top 5.
Yeah.
Am I missing something? Like, that is wild. And last night when Savon texted us the link to that guy, I don't know if you clicked on it. That guy is popular in the MMA world. I've never heard of the guy, but his chat, it was like 4,000 watching live. The chat was like just like. But anyways, I paid $5 so he'd read my comments, and I said, and he was from Britain. This guy, the host last night. I'm like,
yeah, hey, MMA guru.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Patty has no business in the top 5, that's something else. And he agreed. He's like, yeah, I don't know. And he said what I just said, like, how does a guy go from 12, beat a washed up fighter, get into the top 10, not fight anybody, and move to the top 5? And it's not like everyone in front of him won or lost, excuse me. It's not like everyone in front of him lost and then he just leapfrogged them. No, like, that didn't happen.
I said this. We looked at everyone he's beat, and they were all just on losing skids.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't get it. But justice will be served. I don't know. Justice will be served. Well, but he ain't gonna win. You're not gonna beat anyone in a in a
Here's the
title
thing
fight.
too: the pound for pound rankings, the weight division rankings, those are not made by the UFC. They're made by reporters, and to be honest, I don't even know if there's like a sanctioned body that's like coming together and making these. I think it's just all reporters, and so they just come together and
like college football or something like that.
I don't know. Sure.
Because that's kind of how it is. It's like, I think now it's like a committee or something, but like, I don't know. It used to be like the AP ranking and then this ranking and then that ranking.
Is it because they have like the SEC, the Big Ten, Pac-12, or whatever?
I think that plays into it.
Is that what
all that got? Right? Yeah, all that got very convoluted too. I mean, you got teams like freaking Rutgers gets into the Big Ten, and then there was like Oregon or something like that is now in the Big Ten. I'm like, how the hell are they in my Badgers division? That doesn't even make any sense. But anyways, we got off track there. I'm going to play this, and this is why I personally, was not a fan of old Khabib, because
really?
I don't care. I'm going to show you. I don't care how much shit someone talks or whatever. If you beat somebody, you beat them and you let it be. You don't do this after the fight. And I'm muting it because I don't want to get us strikes or anything, but he beats Conor McGregor, beats the crap out of him, points over at his corner, throws his mouthpiece at him, just talking all this shit. I'm going to pause and play. And then it's like, oh, that's not enough. I beat the crap out of Conor. Now I'm going to come over. I'm going to jump kick you. Like, what are we doing, bro? Do you remember this?
Yeah, of course.
I'm sorry, but and then if that wasn't enough.
And then his boys come in and jump on her.
Yeah, homeboy comes in the octagon and starts cheap shot. Right there we go.
Hey, Conor got a few good shots in.
Conor got a few moron. Look at these idiots, dude. Your boy won. Go. We need to turn into a gang here and start jumping dudes. So that, my friend, little sidetrack there, but that I respect Khabib, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But come on, that kind of stuff right there. Now I know, like I said, Conor was like talking shit and kind of bringing his dad into it, and I think he had lost his dad, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Russians are special people, but like, bro,
his dad hadn't died when this happened.
But brought him into it. He
brought his family and religion into it, and
the whole,
like his wife, and just realms I don't think you cross.
But still,
I think
bro,
Dylan Dennis is a fucking giant problem.
He's banned now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
that's crazy. We'll show that in a second.
But
you get it, right? Like what? Like, dude, you do your talking. You as a fighter do your talk. Some dude wants to talk about you, your family, all that shit. Okay, cool. Let's go in there. Let's say you do exactly what Khabib did. You just destroy him. Do you need to do any more? No. You've just owned one of the best fighters of our generation to become one of the yourself become one of the best fighters of our generation. And instead of being like, yeah, I owned him, maybe talk shit after or something like that, you decide I'm going to just start a full-on brawl. Nah, dude, I'm sorry.
I think even Khabib's dad, after that, was I think he was pretty upset about what Khabib did, if I remember correctly.
That sounds right.
And he had to like apologize to his dad for like defaming the name, kind of deal.
It's like, come on, bro. Like, I've always been that guy. Just do the work in the ring and the competition floor, and like that's it. You know, let it be. We don't need to be starting arena brawls. You know what I'm saying? Have my guys cheap shotting you. That's completely insane. Anyways, next topic before we talk 322. There's been a lot the last week. So UFC 322 happened last week, and then one of the last couple of days. No. It was actually right before It was the week of it was last week, but I think they aired it this week. Dana White went on Flagrant. Did you get a chance to watch that?
I did.
That was, man, that guy is really, for me, is so likable. I love Dana. He tells it like it is. He doesn't pussyfoot around. You know what I'm saying? Like, that dude is a straight shooter and a legend at it. And the stories he was telling from the UFC the UFC White House card to things that happened between him and Francis Ngannou, him getting into boxing. And I was on with Garrett on Glitton Things on Tuesday night or whatever that was. And her and I were talking about it a little bit, but man, that guy is he's legend status in my book, man. That was great. What, you take away anything from that podcast? Was there anything you took away, like the biggest takeaways?
No, I love Dana. I enjoyed the podcast. It was very entertaining, and I like when Dana goes on a podcast, especially like with Schultz. Like, it's just a great interview. It will provide a lot of depth and questions and things like that where Dana can actually speak to, whereas like Nelk will interview him and they don't ask like any questions other than like there's nothing typically of like major substance when they interview, you know what I mean? And I think it's just a product of them being young kids, and but it's I mean, what they've amassed by themselves is great. I mean, that's cool. And I love that they love the UFC. I love that they love Dana, but I just can't stand to listen to him, to be honest. It's just so when Schultz gets to interview Dana, it's really cool. He's been on there 2-3 times now. And so I'm always paying attention, but just because I want to hear the stories from Dana, and it was cool to hear the you know, his take on what he sees in the future for the White House card, the behind the scenes kind of shit with Francis and how that transpired. And I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if he's playing promoter, or like Dana is a loyalty first guy. And so when he feels like, I'm sure he feels like he and his company did everything they could for Francis, and Francis had some ill dealings with their negotiations and shit like that. So that sours Dana, and he's like an old school mobster. It's like, oh, like you cross me. It's like you burn that bridge, and I'm gonna make sure it burns down to the ground. Like you set the bridge on fire, I'm gonna make sure it gets demolished. Yep. And he's gonna tear you down. And that's just what he does. And to be fair, it's like he gave Francis a huge opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, what, baby? What you got? Oh, yeah?
A bath bomb.
Oh, that was in your bath bomb?
Yeah, bath bomb. I used a frog syrup. Look, it's bubbly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a bubbly key.
Is that Batman?
Batman.
Yeah. Sorry.
Wow, I'm jealous.
Yeah. So yeah, he views it as he and his company paid him a lot of money, gave him huge opportunities, and always backed him and supported him, and then got him to the title. Well, he got himself there by winning fights, but nevertheless, you know, without the UFC and that huge opportunity, what are you? And then you're asking, you're making demands, and then his claim is that he had some minor physical altercation. Well, I don't want to say physical altercation. He claimed that Francis put his hand on Dana's shoulder when he's trying to walk out. Did the same thing to Sean Shelby or Mick Maynard or one of the two. Or Hunter. Was it Hunter? Hunter Campbell? Probably Hunter.
One of those guys.
And did the same thing. It was just like, no, you're not walking out of here. And yeah, that's in poor taste for sure. But how much of that is you're being a promoter, trying to really scrutinize, or not scrutinize, but really just like double down on the whole, like, these ill dealings were not from the UFC. They were because of Francis and his antics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
And you saw, very well said, you saw Francis, I don't know what, 4 or 5 years ago on Rogan, right? And he told his
crazy
story. I mean, Jesus, like, it's still one of the most epic things. Me personally, I don't know about you, but you don't know someone just because you watched them on a 3 or 4 hour podcast. But like, you get glimmers of who you think they are or could be or whatever, you know. And listening to him, watching him, I never would think of him as the guy that would do that, put his hand on the president of the company or anybody, you know, like it just doesn't sound like something Francis would do. Now, he's a fighter, he's a savage, and he's from
Cameroon.
Cameroon. I was gonna say Congo, but he's from Cameroon, Africa. I mean, this guy savage in his life, but he just doesn't strike me as that. But am I calling Dana a liar? No, not at all. Am I saying maybe there's possibly embellishment going on? Maybe. But at the end of the day, I think you're right. They did all they could with him. They gave him a lot. They set him up. I mean, just the opportunity to, you know, fight. You know, it's not a guarantee. You know, so here's your opportunity. Francis made the most of it, and then maybe that wasn't enough for him, and now he's boxing. But yeah. Anyways, good take. Let's pull up, if you are ready, my good friend. Let's pull up UFC 322. And like I was saying, when you were being such a freaking awesome husband,
My tea toy.
My toy. She's so cute, man. You know, like there's UFCs. Let's take recent history. Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane. Was it on this level? No. But that card sucked balls. And we paid $80 to watch it. And it was like, oh, my God. You had Almeida laying on somebody and then losing the fight. You had the main event. There was a couple other kind of just duds of fights. Even Usman and what was the guy? Whoever he fought was good, but it wasn't that good, you know? So anyways, my point is I would have paid double the amount to watch this card. It was that good. And I don't know if you feel the same way, but before you answer that, answer this. Jody Lynn, Dylan, have you had any fights lately? Yeah, I kicked his ass.
It wouldn't have been a fight. No, I haven't. I've been out for about 6 months. My last fight was in May. But those fucking
did I freeze?
Yeah, I think you froze. That's a good place to freeze,
isn't it? Look at that. Let's go.
But
tell your story.
Last fight was in May. And I unfortunately lost TKO and I broke a rib. And so I took probably 7 weeks, I think, to recover from that broken rib. And then after that, I started training again. I was going to fight October 18th. I was slated to fight October 18th. And then 4 weeks or so before that, I was training and somebody did something stupid and broke my elbow in half, bent it completely backward. And
tell her how it happened. Jody needs a little moment real quick.
Guy was on top of, like, on my back, and I was on all fours trying to shake him off of me, and then he dove to my left side and chopped at my elbow at the same time to try to take out that post. And my elbow, you know how your elbow bends this way? Well, my elbow started bending that way completely. So bad I could have scratched the back of my head with it. It was completely just demolished. So I had to, it was brutal. It was the most excruciating pain I've ever experienced. And I was in the ER for like 8 hours till they finally, what they call reduce. They reduced it, they reset it. And they put me under to do that. And then it was 10 weeks of recovery from then. Just let the ligaments and tendons heal. Thankfully, no breaks or nothing like that. No big detachments of any of the ligaments or tendons. So there were some tears in there and stuff, and it took me a while to get back from that to where I could train. But yeah, it's all good now, and I've been training for the last few weeks, so feeling good. And we're looking for January now, January 24th.
Hell yeah! Oh, I love it. That's awesome. I don't love the injury. I love the comeback though.
Yeah.
That's badass. Thanks for asking, Jody. That's an epic story. Just the visual of your elbow doing the exact opposite of what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I got it pulled up here. We'll start with where we started last week. And as we go through this, audience, those of you that are still left, Dylan and I started last week with this UFC. This is funny. We started keeping a tally. Dylan chooses a winner. I choose a winner. We choose how, just in case tie breaks, all those things, right? And when he's where he's at watching, I'm where I'm at watching it, and it was absolutely epic how poorly Dylan called these fights as far as who is going to win.
Would I go 1 for 7?
You went 1 for 7, and I went 7 for 1.
Crazy.
So the idea will be, and we'll figure out how to do it, whether we go live or Dylan just does it and we drop and films it and we drop the YouTube link or something, or upload it on here. But winner gets to program a workout for loser. So yesterday I texted Dylan. I said, "You ready to start the show with 100 burpees for time tomorrow?" And he's like, "Fuck up." And
I said, "Get fucked."
Good fuck. That's what it was. Good fuck.
Yeah.
And even better. And I'm like, all right, let's do 50. And he's like, no. Like, anyways, maybe doing it live for now to start a show. We won't do that. But Dylan will be doing 50 burpees for time at some point, recording it and uploading it on here. So be watching out for that punishment video. But if we start with this fight, which is the first fight that we started betting on, if you will. I got my handy dandy third grade scribble sheet here.
Hey, to the workout thing as well, we're not set up for it. I don't have a place to do it live. Like Taylor can do the workout like on Kill Taylor.
Yeah.
He can do it in his shed or in his pole barn and film it there like from his phone or whatever, and then go and jump back on in his computer in his house. I don't have that set up here. My shit's set up in my house and not a good place to do a workout. Burpees is about probably the only thing I could do, but nobody wants to see that live. We don't have like the setup like Kill Taylor, so like it's probably going to be for at least first few is going to be I'll just fucking take my punishment and suck it up and do it and record it and post it, and then we'll figure out a way to
there you go.
Combine it into the show.
We will figure out where there's a will, there's a way. We will absolutely figure that out.
Yeah, but I got fucking demolished, and I'm a man of my word, so I'll do the fucking workout and flip Jeremy off and curse him the whole time.
And what's funny is, like, it's not like you picked bad. You know what I'm saying? You didn't pick, like, the March Madness comes around and the office hands out the sheet, and it's like the girl wins because she picked all the colors she liked or the names of the teams. You know, it's not like you did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you picked logically. It just was like, wow.
Just fighting, man.
Yeah, fighting. I
don't think I've ever lost that badly, like in picks.
Yeah. I don't think you'll ever will again, if I'm being honest with you.
I hope not.
That was epically bad. It was crazy.
I'm still recovering from that. That was brutal.
Yeah. Speaking of bad, my Milwaukee boy, Gerald, how do you say his last name? Mearshart?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't want to get yelled at. He got that was what? Gatekeeper no more, right? You said we agree that Gerald was a gatekeeper. And rightfully so, because he does have talent. He is he's a journeyman. He's been fighting for a long time. He's had some good fights. He's won some good fights. But dude, not only has he been losing, but a 50-second submission. He's not fighting a slouch, but when you watch this and that happened were you shaking your head? Were you like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, what happened? You know, like, what are your thoughts going through your head?
I think he just got caught. He got caught early and fucking really early. And I don't know. I think a guy like Marshart gets clipped and then he falls down more than he falls down because his game is down there.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping to land in guard or something like that, you know, and maybe control the posture and recover a little bit. And Kyle was just all over him, and it was over. You know,
Like,
what can you do?
That. Yeah.
What can you do? Yeah, it's not good when you're that when it's that result, man. There's one thing to just get caught. Islam's been caught. I mean, fuck, you do this shit long enough, everybody's gonna get caught.
Yep.
But he's been caught quite a few times pretty quickly. So it's kind of one of those things where I just starting to GM3 is the man, but yeah, I don't know what his future looks like, unfortunately.
That was my next question. Is you tasted the last time our boy GM3 has tasted victory was over a year ago. You're a fighter, you know how that goes. You don't win for a while, for a long time, and it starts to mess with your head. But now we have 4 straight losses. So I'll give him credit for being a gamer and stepping up and fighting, although that is his job. But 4 losses in a row. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if Dana is gonna be like, well, he's a gatekeeper. Let's keep him around. Let's let him figure it out. I don't see that happening, and it's kind of sad because, like I said, he trains here, and that's the other element to it. Is like your coach just died, one of the most legendary coaches in the MMA space, in Duke Rufus just passed away unexpectedly. It wasn't like he was old and you kind of saw it coming. You know, he was 52 or something. And I would think that your fire would just be like, oh, I don't care. I am going to burn it down. If I lose, I lose, but I'm gonna burn it down. You know, 3-round fight or 2.5-round fight, you get caught. It's okay, fine. Like he just came out, looked like he did not want to be there, and then game over. It's very, very, very disappointing. But you know, fighting happens. Losing happens. We'll see what's up for him. I'm sure he'll keep fighting. I just don't think it'll be in the UFC. Whereas Dawkins, I don't know what to make of this guy. He's had some odd losses. You know, Anders isn't a slouch. I don't even know if Anders fights anymore. But you know, he's had some odd losses, but he's on, you know, two in a row now. I don't know what to make of this kid. I think he's good. I don't know if it's that he was that good or MG3 was that bad.
Funny story about Eric Anders. I was fighting in Columbus, Ohio, and back in my corner, up where they have, when I say in my corner, they have the blue corner and the red corner, and they're just in 2 different wings of the building. You know what I mean? That's where everybody who's in blue corner is going to be in this section, and everybody's in red corner is going to be in this section. And Eric Anders, and he had a guy fighting from his gym on that same card, and he was there cornering him, and the bathrooms were packed, and I had to go. I'm getting ready to throw on my cup and shit to change over into my fight kit and put on my cup and get ready to start getting warmed up and get ready for my fight. Well, Eric Anders was in there in the bathroom, which I didn't know, but he had a fresh pair of Jordans on. You could see it under the stalls. And I went in there and I almost got knocked out by the shit smell that was so strong. You could almost smell it in the fucking hallway.
Oh, man.
And my man was in there for a hot minute.
Right before a fight, bro?
Yeah. And then so I'm like waiting. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to die if I go in there to change. I'm like looking for another bathroom or somewhere to change. And, you know, sometimes you can just change in the corner. It's like not that big of a deal because often it's just a bunch of dudes and they're all doing the same thing. But like sometimes there's a little bit more people, and sometimes there's girls floating around or like families or whatever. So you're just like, I don't know, I'm gonna change the bathroom. But yeah, finally, I try again to the bathroom, and as I'm walking in, Eric Andrews is walking out. And I was like, holy shit, is that your boy? Because that's his name, your boy Eric Andrews. That's his nickname. And I was like, holy shit, is that your boy? And he was like, what's up? And I shook his hand. He dapped me up. He was cool. And then he just looked at me as he shook my hand, and he was like, you going in there? I was like, oh, I'm about to. I got to get changed. He was like, good luck.
I like that he owned it too. He wasn't trying to like weasel out or nothing. He's like, dude, I just destroyed that toilet. Yeah. That's hilarious, dude. What a story. That's funny as hell, dude. Jody's question: how does he keep getting fights?
He's probably cheap. We're talking about GM3, right?
GM3, Meerschaert.
Yeah, he's probably cheap. He's probably cheap. He's probably always game to fight. He's probably done like really good dealings with the UFC, so they like dealing with him. He probably doesn't negotiate hard or give them any problems. He probably always makes weight, just like certain things. He's easy to work with. And then on top of that, they're cutting paychecks that aren't, $150,000. They're cutting paychecks that are like 40 and 40 or something like that, or 60 and 60. Where fuck if he loses, it's 60K. And it's just an easy gatekeeper to keep around and hang out. And then really how he keeps getting fights can often be a sort of a business dealing of like, we need the other guys to fight somebody and they need to cross a certain threshold, which i.e. this is how he gets gatekeeper status, is that like they got to go past him and he's a cheap fucking expendable body to throw at. And it's like, if you can't beat him, you don't deserve it, because we know he's up and down, win and loss, win and loss, loss, win, loss, win, So it's just a good test. So he gets the fights based off of the guys ranking near or below him. They just need to pass that test. That's all. So they like keeping him around. He's cheap. He's easy to work with. That would be my.
I think you're definitely right into one of your points of he's ready to fight. I mean, in the last year,
and not to mention, he's still dangerous. You know what I mean? Like,
and he is still dangerous. Yeah, he's not a slouch.
We're not throwing this out there like he's just some fucking guy changing tires. You know what I mean? Like, no, he can fight. He's a professional fighter. He's been in the UFC for a long time. He's a fucking problem for sure. But he's not top 10 problem. He's top 20-ish, somewhere in that realm. And it's like a little bit of gatekeeper,
Yeah, for sure. Well said. So for that fight, we had Dylan said win by TKO in the second round for Mr. Kyle Dawkins. I said win by TKO in the first round by Dawkins. Neither of us were right, but I was a little bit closer. Just a little bit. So we got that. Moving right along. There are a lot of good fights down here, but we're gonna move because we got a lot of fights to go over here. This mother effing fight. Dude,
shit.
I was
so happy to lose.
Scribbled it out. I had it like scribbled out. I was gonna put Wellmaker because by all signs, this kid is the next coming, right? Like he's the second coming of Robbie Lawler or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna bring it, and he hits hard, especially for featherweight fighter. And then all of a sudden, Ethan Ewing comes out of nowhere. He had fought the weekend prior. So he's still in shape, fighting shape. And I start watching the little bit that you can find on him. And I'm like, the element of being called up at the last minute, which I know you have experience with that, but just coming off of a fight in which you won a belt in a different league. And just like the fact that Wellmaker was preparing for someone else, got this guy, I switched my pick. I said, Ethan Ewing, I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's going to get it done. And I listened to Joe Rogan, how shocked he was. I felt the same way. I'm like, geez, like I was fully prepared for Wellmaker to knock him out, and I'd be wrong. I'm like, whatever. I was just, picking based on whatever, but this kid was crazy impressive.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was very shocked.
That's because you didn't know who he was until I told you about him.
Basically, yeah. You kind of gave me a little bit of insight on who he is, and
And then I picked
And,
Wellmaker, and because of my argument of like, hey, this is last second notice, but I'm gonna go with the guy who's been in there a couple of times. You were like, you had that instinct of like, ooh, that last second shit kind of can throw people for a loop. It's like, I'm gonna take the new guy. And it was a good pick. I mean, I did the smart pick, you did the risky pick, and it turned out correct. And fuck, I was so happy to lose this fight, not because I have anything against Wellmaker. I think he's phenomenal. But when we see this, we don't hardly ever get a performance like Ethan. We usually get somebody who's being fed to the wolves.
Yes.
We saw it with Bo Nickel and oh fuck.
What's you're gonna make me think
Wellburn. He fought Wellburn. Black kid.
Yeah.
Crazy power. Like just throw a Hail Mary and that dude's gonna fucking put you to sleep. But Bo Nickel put him to sleep. You know what I mean? And it's like that's typically what you see is a result like that, where it's like there's levels to this shit kind of deal. Yes. And boy, oh boy, was Ethan Ewing fucking on this level. He was ready for it.
He looked like a seasoned vet. This looked like his 6th fight in the UFC, and he was like a top 8. You know?
I haven't seen skill like that. What he presented in that fight through the entirety of the fight, even after getting hit a couple of times too, because Wellmaker landed his own for sure. But for the most part, Ethan had crazy footwork. It made Wellmaker look like he couldn't get any kind of lateral angles or anything like that because Ethan was always perpendicular to him. He was always cutting angles, always cutting off to the side, landing combinations. He was in first. He let Wellmaker come back. He'd evade, do some footwork, slip some punches, come back in. So it's like we always have this like saying is that like you know to win a fight, it's easy mathematics here. First in, last out. You know what I mean? And it's because you got to be first in, boom, 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 combination. And then the return is going to happen somewhere in that second to third to fourth punch. They're going to start returning. And it's up to you to finish that combination and get the fuck out of there real quick, but dive right back in. Boom, 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 more, right? And that's what is being first in and last out. Because it's like you never really left. Even though you did some evasive maneuvers, you didn't jump completely out of the pocket and run away. You didn't come in, pop, pop, and then run. You went in, pop, pop, slip, rolled, came around, cut an angle, pop, 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 pop. And then you won that entire exchange. And so if you can do that in the fight, it's so simple. You'll win every fight. It's so simple.
Is that how it works?
Yeah. You know,
I've been wondering all this time.
So
he did that great. He did that. It's very,
It's because of that high level of footwork and the combinations that he showed. The knees were crazy. I mean, I mean, Ethan Ewing made a fucking fan out of me, dog. Holy shit.
And I hope I hope it wasn't a fluke. I hope he didn't just catch lightning in a bottle and have the fight of his life. I want to see this kid continue climbing the ranks and fighting some guys. I mean, Wellmaker isn't just a guy, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a man, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like that boy has proven himself in a seemingly short period of time. And for Ewing to come, I mean, dude, a couple days notice. Yeah, you're coming off of a fight, but like you could also be beat up from that fight for all we know, you know, and to put on that performance and everything that you said, I couldn't. I'm like, this ain't real. Like, and really, hats off to Dana or whoever, you know, whoever was like, hey,
probably Hunter,
whomever it was, like, hats off for having an eye out for a solid guy, you know, because like you said, most of the time we see this, they're getting fed to the lions, and it's just not fun to watch. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a fan of the guy that wins, but.
There's a couple of components
to find
here.
This kid, like I couldn't believe it.
There's a couple of components here that we have to acknowledge. Is Ethan Ewing took a fight on 48 hours notice, 2 days notice, right? Which means he had to fucking cut the weight and then fly out and then maybe finish cutting the weight, like last couple of pounds sort of deal. And then fucking weigh in, make weight, which is crazy because, and here's why it's more crazy than the actual fight the week prior. The fight the week prior isn't what's going to affect you here in this fight. It's going to be doing 2 weeks in a row, back-to-back weight cuts, because what
Yeah.
happens is you cut all that water weight for a very short period of time, and then you put it back on. And so he had to do that twice in 2 weeks.
That's unheard of.
It's crazy. So that would have been his biggest detriment, not the fight necessarily. The fight, I mean, you can feel a little kind of banged up and whatnot, but you're fine. I mean, that's you can push through that shit. That's just a little bit of pain, barring any kind of serious injury, obviously, but like or knockout, whatever. But he fucking went, got his strap, and then got the call, and then fucking bounced and cut the weight again. The weight cut again would have been the thing that gets him. And then it just goes to show, it's like, hey, he doesn't cut a lot of weight to begin with, and he always stays ready, and he doesn't blow up after fights. And so that's what made him give him this perfect storm of ready to fight back to back. And he showed up and showed out, and he did catch lightning in a bottle. And there is a little bit of magic to taking that fight on short notice, which I love it, because I got like a fucking underdog mentality. I'm like, yeah, fucking give me the guy in 2 days. You know what I mean? Because I'll fucking whoop up on him. I didn't have a camp. He did. I'll fucking smash him. That's just how I feel. And I'm sure he feels the same. So you'll have a little bit of this like surprise element. So it does work in his favor if you can take advantage of that with having that mentality of that dog shit of like going like, I got nothing to lose. I'm going to go out there and fucking give her. Because really, Ethan had nothing to lose. He was going to get a fat paycheck from Dana no matter what, and a contract, by the way, no matter how that went. And we talked about that.
Did he get a bonus or anything?
Oh yeah. He got a bonus.
Hell yeah.
And so
yeah. Well deserved.
Barring even if he went in there face first and got knocked out, like he went in there, took the fight on 48 hours notice, did the UFC a huge solid. He still would have gotten a contract. He still would have gotten paid something, a little extra scratch for taking the fight that short, even though they wouldn't have presented it as a fight bonus. If he lost or got knocked out, they would have given him extra money for sure, just for doing them that solid. You know what I mean? But he did the best fucking outcome you could ask for. You know what I mean? God,
absolutely. Man. And to remind anyone that is still here, this is still the prelims. This right here was the last card of the early prelims. To give you an idea of how good this card was. Yeah, and this was the first of the prelims. Doesn't Ethan? He gives me vibes of like dude he went to high school with that tried to go to LA to be an actor and it didn't work out. Like
no.
That hair and face? No, what do you got?
No, dude. He's a blue collar savage, my man. He's a blue collar savage. He works for I think he's in a union. And I think
right, he's a plumber, right?
I think he does concrete. Could be a plumber, but I think he does concrete on like some big buildings for a big GC. Because they were doing like a safety meeting and shit like that. That's big GC shit. That's where you're building fucking high rises and shit.
That's badass. Yeah, that's badass. He's an all around badass dude. Like,
look, if you're fucking pouring concrete all day or being a plumber, like fuck, dude, you know how
that's crazy.
It's hard to train, man.
It's impossible.
You're beat up all day. You're up earlier and shit, and you know, and then you got to go train afterward, and then you got to go home, be with your family, and then you got to go to sleep, do it all again.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that fight we already talked about. I had Ewing, you had Wellmaker. So now you're 0 for 2. I'm 2 for 2. Moving along to this one, I just want to take a time out for any viewer that's here. Jody, you get to hear this. Dylan struggles with his sexuality. And what I mean by that is we talked about Tracy Cortez a few weeks back. We talked about like best looking fighters of all time. We did a Google search and then every girl fighter, that's how few girl fighters are. They all came up on the list, but Tracy Cortez is definitely, to me, a good looking lady. You know, I could do without the too much makeup, like Blanchfield, her lack of makeup. I like that, but like maybe there's a little bit. It's not too much. Like that's but like that's a hot chick. And Dylan's like, nah, I'm good. I don't know. I'm just questioning a little bit, bro. I don't know.
She's overrated.
You heard it here first. So women's flyweight bout. We have two I lost you. We got two studs here. Blanchfield, in my opinion, and I'm open to being wrong, more of the stud, like the more promising stud. But Tracy had a first round. She had a
oh my God. That
what?
was you being a pervert. No.
What about me being a pervert?
I don't know. Jody said, "Oh my God," because I think you said that you called me
total perv, Jody. You know me. Come on, I'm just disgusting. I'm just disgusting. But Blanchfield. So the first round, I don't want to say Tracy won it because she might have won it. But I thought that she looked way better than I even anticipated her looking. I feel like I haven't seen her fight in a while. I mean, look, come on, Dylan. Jeepers, criminy. But that's right. Now I remember. Okay, she obviously fought Araujo and beat her, but Oruhu, whatever. Dylan will correct me. But she fought Rose, and Rose beat her in a unanimous decision. But she's had great success as a female fighter. I knew she was no slouch, but she came out getting after it. She came out not one of those fighters to like, hey, let me feel you out for 2 rounds, and then finally I'll let you know. Like she did the damn thing. But the thing about Erin Blanchfield is this girl is a professional. They call her cold-blooded, but she could easily, be called the professional because she is very she gets the job done. It's not always the sexiest. It's not always she's not necessarily going to knock everybody out, but she's very technical, precise in a female field where sometimes, at least up until a couple of years ago, that it wasn't that way. Females were kind of more catfighty and less technical, but they've really, obviously, the co-main event, we'll talk about that in a little bit. They really upped their game, and she's just really technically sound. She's had some really solid wins against Jessica Andrade. She's beat, like I said, she beat Rose, and now you add Cortez to that list. I like the future for Blanchfield. What is she ranked? Are you back? I hear something.
I'm back, dog. Can you see?
Oh, there you are. Okay, now I see it. I was on the other screen.
Oh.
Does it have her ranking? Yeah, they don't put her ranking here. I know she's in the top 10 of flyweight women, but I give Tracy credit. She you know what I'm saying? Like, she did very, very well, in my opinion. She did very, very well.
Tracy beat
her. But she's very, very
Tracy beat her in a lower circuit a while ago.
Is that right? Is that a fact? Okay. Oh, yeah, they did talk about that. Hold on, pause. Jody, I don't think Rose has fought in a very long time. It does feel
very long.
Kind of long. Let's see. When's the last time Rose?
She just beat. She lost to.
She beat Maverick.
Oh, she beat Maverick. She lost to Erin Blanchfield.
Yeah, she lost to Blanchfield. She beat Cortez. So Cortez has fought some freaks. Blanchfield's fought some freaks. Maverick is a freak, and Rose beat her 5 months ago. So it's kind of been a long time.
Maverick is too inexperienced to compete with Rose. That's all.
Yeah, that was premature.
They beat her.
They gave her.
But,
yeah. They gave her to her too early. But I wonder what the future does look like for Rose because
it's only because Rose came up. You know, like this is 125. She used to be at 115.
Yep, that's true. That is true. But very, very well earned. I never say deserved. Well earned victory for Erin.
How did I lose here? I called that Erin Blanchfield would win. She won in the round, right? What did I predict? Decision?
You want to laugh? No. You called Erin Blanchfield 3rd round submission. I called Erin Blanchfield 2nd round submission.
Unbelievable.
That is insane. See, I told you, man, your picks weren't bad at all by any stretch of the imagination. She got submitted. You just picked the wrong round.
I didn't think she was going to be able to do it by the 2nd round. I thought she would wear on her and start to figure her out. But then secured in the third round, I think was my thinking. And then she just got it done in the second round. Good on her. Erin Blanchfield doing the fucking thing.
I think
First person to finish Tracy Cortez.
Yeah, and Tracy, again, she didn't win the first round, but she had a great first round. I think it kind of, I think how I look at it, it expedited Erin's plan, where what you're saying, wear and tear, and then get to the third round, wear down enough, submit her. I think she thought, hey, I got to do this now because I'm getting caught too much by Tracy. Tracy is more prepared than I thought or whatever, and I think she just expedited her plan. That's how I see it, how it played out. But I thought it was a great fight. I thought it was a great win.
Tracy looked good on that first round. She looked like she was pop shotting. She looked like she was landing, getting her timing down. Looked like Erin was struggling a little bit to get in there, to strike with her, struggling with the little bit of a reach difference because Erin's not as sophisticated as a striker as Tracy is. But once Blanchfield started getting a hold of her, it was game, set, match.
I'd like to see – I don't know who I'd like to see next for Blanchfield. I'd like to see Tracy still. I hope she doesn't take a step away. Like she's a legit fighter. Like she can fight. And
Tracy won't. No, she doesn't lose any stock by losing to Blanchfield. Is what it is. Yeah. Number 8, number 4.
Number 4. There it is. On a prelim fight. That's insane. Moving along. Man, this was very. I was entertained by this fight, but I don't know about you. I feel like Roman fought more to not get knocked out than to win the fight, which I get because Gregory is.
Sometimes you got to fight that way, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I don't blame him. I'm not like, I wish, he should have, could have, would have, whatever. But like, there were windows of opportunity where I was like, all right, here we go. Here he goes. And he just was a little until the third round. I think halfway through the third round, he's like, okay, I got to do something here. But Gregory, he's a monster. That guy he's legit.
RoboCop.
RoboCop he's obviously physically just a monster, but he's very athletic with that size. That's got to be a guy at middleweight that's walking around 225 easily, that cuts all that weight to get down to 185. So it's naturally just going to give him the strength advantage. And I give Roman credit. He did fight. It's not like he fought a horrible fight. He didn't get knocked out. He didn't get submitted. Unanimous decision. That means, like I said, you fought not to lose instead of like, hey, I'm going to go get it. And if I get knocked out, I get knocked out. And is that the right mentality? I don't know. You tell me. You're the fighter. That's more my mentality than it is not. Like, I'm just going to go for it. If I get finished, I get finished. But I don't want to leave it in the judge's hands like ever.
Mike Tyson said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's a bit of an unfair criticism of like saying like I went there to not lose, in lieu of getting knocked out. Like, I don't think that's anybody's game plan. I think what you're doing is damage control in a temporary sort of timeline, like meaning I need to gain some timing here. I need to figure him out more. So I need to evade a little bit more. I need to pop shot and get away and then start to put some combinations together if I can. But what happened was RoboCop was just being aggressive and he wasn't allowing Kopylov to get any kind of timing down. And he kept landing big shots and it becomes fucking danger. And it's incredibly, incredibly difficult to convince your mind to just go in there like Bart Simpson and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, because you're like, no, I'm going to get fucking flatlined. Like it's like self-preservation that's subconscious level. So it's like, it's not like he's running from him. Like, I'm afraid to get knocked out. It's like, because I've been rocked. I've been put on skates. Well, not visibly, but I was rocked and I had to fucking move around and garner some time before I got hit again because, and that's not being fearful of losing. It's more like you're playing a chess match here. You can't show your cards. And so you got to move around. You got to start getting combinations together. You got to figure out your timing. But that takes work and it takes evasiveness and it takes setups and good on RoboCop. He wasn't allowing Roman to set any of that up. So I mean, he just got nullified. That's all. I think he got hit early, hard, and he probably got clipped a couple of times, and then he kept. Anytime he tried to do something, probably got answered with something, and from there you just gotta do what you can, and sometimes that's just the way the fucking cookie crumbles, and sometimes that
you
crumbles in a fucking.
You talked about that a couple times in recent shows, as far as you have this game plan. Say Roman has this game plan. I'm going to go do the damn thing, right? And then you get tagged by someone as strong as Gregory, and you're like you said, Mike Tyson, like,
Guys
wasn't prepared for
a lot faster and a lot more powerful than you ever expect, even no matter how much tape you've watched.
Right. And I think I'm pretty sure that's what we saw play out. Obviously, that won't be the last we see of Roman. He's up and coming, and he's pretty young. Gregory looks like he's 100 years old, but I think this will move him into like a top 15 ranking, and I think it's a tough weight class.
Gregory does look like Hickson Gracie. Like
he does.
He looks like a 50-year-old Hickson Gracie, or a Hoist.
How old is RoboCop? I bet you he's like 29 or something.
Right.
Young as shit, probably.
He looks
33, but still 33 is not that old.
Pull up fucking Hoist Gracie, because fuck, he looked like Hoist Gracie now. Like that's how he looks. That's what.
Seriously, that's exactly what he looks like.
50, 60 years old, however old he is.
33-year-old guy, but yeah, he'll move in the top 15 for sure. For sure. All right. So for this one, you had Kopylov by decision. I had Rodriguez anyway. So 4 for 4, 0 for 3, 0 for 4. Excuse me. That's funny. All right, the fight that I
another proud loss.
Yeah, sure. The fight that I was very much anticipating. I'm not like choking on Bo Nickal's hog by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that the reason I really enjoy this dude, a couple of reasons, is he's gonna bring it. He's going to bring it, and he's gonna do what he's got to do. The other reason is when you're that good at wrestling and you can add the strength, we've seen it. Matt Hughes, I'll just say that. The great example. The guy can wrestle with the best of them, but then all of a sudden he learned how to punch, and he was a dominant champion, And I'm not saying Bo Nickal would be a champion necessarily one day. It's possible, but I just like a wrestler that figures out his hands. However, if you remember, I said that Bo Nickal. So let's talk about the predictions. You said Vieira, 3rd round sub. I said Bo Nickal's 2nd round TKO. And he got the 3rd round TKO. But anyways, I said that he will knock Rodolfo out, but it won't be a good thing for Bo because if you remember what I said?
He'll fall back in love with his hands.
He'll fall too much in love with his hands and get further away from being one of the best wrestlers in the division. When you do that, you start, here's a good example. To me, at least, you correct me if you feel so inclined to. Dan Henderson, unbelievable wrestler. God, he was such a good wrestler. He fell in love with his hands, which I get because that guy can throw bombs, but the H-bomb for sure.
They called it the H-bomb.
Yep, and I remember seeing them, and they were devastating. When he put out Michael Bisping, it was like
he made that his logo.
God, yep.
When he knocked out Michael Bisping was in the shadow realm with that one punch.
Dude, that was
lined on the canvas like this, and Hendo followed it up with a
shadow
fucking H-bomb from hell, which was not necessary
at all.
But fuck, mean, you're in a fight. He ain't been stopped yet. You got to fucking do the damn thing, and that was a lot of hatred there too as well. So
he did not like. A lot of people didn't like Michael.
Silhouette of Hendo in the air, leaping with his fucking H-bomb of death coming down on Bisping, and Bisping laying on the mat, and he's up in the air leaping toward him. That's his fucking logo. It's hilarious.
It was absolutely hilarious.
Ends up losing the next fight to Bisping in England by decision. Split decision, I believe, 5-round fight.
Something like that. But so where I was going with that is that, so there's your example. He ends up losing. You should have just wrestled, dude. Like Marab people. Yeah, it might not be the sexiest thing ever, but dude, Islam people, Marab people, like Khamzat kind of takes it too far. All he'll do is hug you on the ground. But like, I don't want Bo Nickel, the up and comer, to get so far away from what his base that he's going to end up like Dan Henderson. Like Dan was great, and he was a Pride champion for sure. I don't know if you ever tasted UFC gold, but don't get too far away from what's made you successful. But that being said, that was a scary knockout. Like Rodolfo, you talk about Shadow Realm. Rodolfo was in the Shadow Realm and then went into the Upside Down. Like that was great. He like you can tell Bo was pumped. Like, but then you can see on a fighter, all of a sudden they're like, uh-oh, I may have really hurt this guy. And that's what it looked like happened. Bo had that look after about 30 seconds.
Believe it or not, and I can't speak for everybody because I think everybody feels different, but it's not fun doing that to somebody.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I don't know why. I've knocked people out, and it is like, I don't know. Have you ever killed an animal?
Yeah. It doesn't feel good.
Shot a rabbit or something, or killed a deer, or
I killed a bear with my bare hands. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah. I saw that movie. It's there's a bit of like immediate like somber or something. It's weird because you're like, dude, I just did this crazy feat, and that guy was trying to kill me, and I killed him, and you're just like, fuck, like it's over. But you're not like fucking screaming inside doing backflips and shit. Now when there's big paychecks on the line and this is your whole career and all that, like it just doesn't feel good to me. It's like the guy wakes back up and you're like, okay, you can start to celebrate a little bit. But you saw Bo, took a knee for a minute there, kind of paying his respects. It's not as the result is glorious and the byproduct of doing it is phenomenal. But yeah, the actual like knocking somebody unconscious is like you feel fucking terrible. You're like,
of course, yeah.
I knocked out a guy I knocked out a guy before his wedding, and he had to have like facial reconstruction.
Oh my god, bro!
Yeah, and I hit him up. I didn't know this, but I know like after I knocked him out, I talked to him after the fight, and I was just like, I was just trying to be friendly and respectful and gracious. And told him I'd buy him a beer, but I knocked him out, so I didn't want to buy him a beer. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, here's a beer on top of your massive.
Yeah, it feels disrespectful as fuck, right? It's like, but then on top of that, dude's got fucking concussion. He doesn't even be drinking. And then, but yeah, I noticed his face was pretty like sunken in, and I was like, fuck. And he was still trying to like gather himself, figure out what's going on.
Wow.
But I messaged him like a year later, and I was just like, hey brother, just checking in on your career. I see that you're like doing good in the workforce. Like he started his own business and was like crushing it and all that. And I was like, hope to see you fight again soon. He was like, yeah, man, it's been a long road, and just I hope to get back in, but I don't know for now. Business is busy. And then he told me about like the medical report that he got after going to the ER after that. And it was like this long list of a bunch of words I can't pronounce that are all in Latin because they're like the names of all the bones that were fragmented in his face. And his nose was like sunken in, his cheekbone was sunken in, and like it looked like he had Bell's palsy. Like one side of his face was like flat and just like and I remember thinking like, holy fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. You want to fight. You want to knock him out, but you don't want to damage his face.
They had plans to get married a few months after that fight, and then they just postponed it so he could fix his face. And they ended up getting married. phenomenal. No, I'm not a savage at all. I
Damn,
appreciate it,
Dylan,
but I'm not, dude.
savage.
I'm a fucking soft ass motherfucker.
Breaking someone's, I mean, I know that, but breaking someone's face
I'm
is
telling you, dude, I'm
that's
just like
pretty
I'm
savage,
like
man.
fucking I'm like fucking hippie, like want to hug everybody. Like I'm not
This is
like
true. This is true. This is very true.
I don't want to. It's weird to be in the fucking sport that I'm in and not want to hurt people, but for real, I don't like doing it. I want us to fight and like let's see what happens because it's like the ultimate test. It's like fuck yeah, but I really hope everybody fucking gets to stand there at the end of the day and get watch someone's hand get raised or get their hand raised. I don't want people to be like injured like that. You know, I want us to fight and figure it out. You might get finished, you might not, but like knockouts happen, sure, but like broken bones and fucking facial recognition, I just like,
no thanks.
Yeah, I felt terrible about that, but he was such fucking salt to the earth, great opponent. Fucking anyway, enough about me. Who gives a shit? Let's fucking blow through these so we can review the rest of this card and get into the next one. Get into the
for sure. So Bo Nickel, I'm sure he's gonna pop into a top 15 spot after that. I think if he doesn't get too caught up with the hands and if he doesn't get too far away from what's got him here, I think we'll I don't want to say see him fight for a title someday, but he'll be up there, top 10, maybe top 5. But man, that earned him a performance of the night. Speaking of performance of the night, dude, this main card, I mean, I was just blown away. First of all, did you catch his interview afterwards?
Whose?
Benoit.
Oh no, I didn't. He only speaks French.
he spoke some English, that broken French, but he is a class act. You know.
Oh, I did hear it because he's talking about the veterans and shit. Yeah.
Yes, and like he's just such a, and he's
the French
French
allies,
special forces.
He's worked with a lot of American military.
Sure.
He's special
but
forces.
Just hearing it was like, oh man, I was like, dude, you're a good dude. No, you could have been like, tooting your own horn. You could have talked shit about your opponent again. You could have whatever, you could have done whatever. But instead, you think veterans. You talked about how great America, how much you love America, how much you love your home country. Glad we're aligned. Like, good dude, man, all around. He brought 2 of the men that served with him. One of them lost at least one of his legs, maybe both. And they showed him in the crowd. It's just like you could tell this is a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a guy you want on your side. He's dangerous, but he's a good dude. And what he did to Dariush, Dariush is sitting there he gets knocked out. It's clear as day. That's not even up for debate to me. He was clearly knocked out. And then tries to pretend, and fighters do it, I get it, but like tries to pretend for way too long that he wasn't knocked out.
No.
Could have kept fighting.
No, dude, no. He didn't pretend anything.
Set me straight here.
What happens is, if you interviewed Beneil the next day and asked him, like, hey, like, what happened? I guarantee you he'd say something like, I remember getting warmed up in the back, and then that's it.
You think that's what it was?
Dude.
He was knocked.
You don't even realize you got knocked out. It's like you're walking into the cage. It's the last thing I remember. I'm ready to fight. And then you're like, the ref, you're standing up in the ref's face, and the ref's telling you, dude, you got knocked out. And you're like, no, the fuck I didn't. I know.
I believe that to an extent. I believe that for Rodolfo.
It's not an act. I promise you it's not an act. It's a fucking, you got knocked the fuck out, and like you're in immediate like amnesia. Like you don't know or understand what happened.
I'm not the fighter, so I can't sit here and say you're wrong. But
if you've ever seen somebody in a car wreck that took a concussive blow, like oftentimes it's the same thing. Like it's just like you just don't have all of your faculties. So the last, 10, 20 minutes that transpired, you don't have immediately available. So yes, they protest it because they wake up on the canvas, they feel somebody on top of them, they're trying to get up, and then the ref's stopping it. And you're like, what the fuck? I was moving, I was getting up. And they're like, dude, you were literally face down, ass up. Your
Literally.
eyes were rolled back, like you were out, and you're like, no, the fuck, I wasn't. I was there, and you're like, no, you weren't. And then it takes some time to go back and watch the tape and see what happened. Let your memory come back a little bit, and then you realize, oh shit, yeah, that was a good stoppage. And so no,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong, and you're the fighter. But having watched
especially
it for so
Benil.
long, you can tell. Sure, you can tell the ones that are doing what you said. That they were just so knocked out, that immediate amnesia. That's a great way of explaining it. But he was like avidly like bitching. Like it wasn't even like what, because half the time you see him and they're like, what just happened? But he was like, no. Like it was like,
that's what happens, Jeremy. I'm telling you, because you're not there. You don't understand. You can look back. Just look, if you look up like a YouTube compilation of like fighters who get knocked out and don't know they're knocked out, however you need to word that to put it in fucking YouTube, you'll see a highlight reel for like 2 hours straight of fucking guys diving for the ref's legs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's because they're not
I hear you
there, and they're trying to fight the ref because they don't even realize they're not even fighting their original opponent. They're fighting the guy who stopped the fight, and they're not trying to fight the ref because he stopped it. They think they're still in the fight.
Right.
It's a fucking concussive blow.
And I would 9 out of 10 times I would be like, you're right, but it was just the manner in which Homeboy did it.
You have
it was
to look
one
at
of
it
those
like Benil is not that guy. I guarantee you, with everything that I own, I'd put on the line. But Neil is not that guy to fake that shit. 100% no, absolutely not. He doesn't give a fuck about a win or a loss. He does. He's a
stand-up dude,
staunch Christian. Walks with Christ and does his damnedest to talk about it every chance he gets. To
freaking Christians, man, I tell you,
dude, he is. I've only heard that Benoit, whomever has fought him, nobody can say anything but just phenomenal things about him. Guys have talked shit about him, and he just fucking shakes it off. He's like, it's all good. Like, we're here to fight, and I understand. He's like a Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. It's just too nice. Like, what can you say about him? He's too friendly. He's too good of a person. I guarantee you his character stands for itself, and he is not that guy to actually be pretending, like, whoa. Like, no, he's not doing that. He wasn't there. And he was knocked out just as quickly in his last fight against Arman.
Fair enough.
Makes you a little bit compromised, a little bit more. Now we're talking about what we've talked about in the past, Glass Jaw, right? Is like he's probably there.
He's definitely getting there. Absolutely. If not, absolutely.
Which sucks,
there. But
I fucking love Benil. I was hoping he'd win a title.
And you called Benil late second round submission. I called Benoit submission in the third round. So neither of us were right. So that's either a wash or I got,
No, that's a wash.
I win because I called
Benoit. No, you don't win, motherfucker.
Oh, I win. I always win. But yeah, it'll be exciting to see what comes for Benoit going forward here. Man, it's like they just get better. This was crazy. I mean, Carlos is a goofball, but he was a goofball. Like up against the cage, you got the former champion on your back, and he's doing like, not the hardest one. He's doing, and now it's, if you've seen it, Carlos Montes' face has become a meme where like he's just like,
it's like a squeaky plush. They'll like dub it over with sound, and it's this squeaky plush toy. Yeah, every time Leon's hitting him, it's like squeak, 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 squeak.
Exactly. So one of them was like, when life is doing its best to knock you down or whatever, and you're just like, yeah, okay, and it's just like, but like, I called
this to a T.
You called Carlos second round TKO. I called unanimous decision. So that's the first one that you finally got, and and we were both just in absolute shock as to how that happened, because we both thought he would win, but you're fighting a former champ in a stacked division, and that was crazy. That was absolutely insane how Pratis looked, how confident he was, and ultimately that knockout was like, oh my God. Leon Edwards got knocked out so hard that he started smiling. I don't know if you noticed that, but like,
Yeah, that shit.
if you watch the replay, he went from
Yeah.
like, boom, he got knocked out, falls, to like, looking at the
Yeah.
ref with this like smile, and I'm like,
He wasn't
oh my
there.
God.
He wasn't there. That's all
gone.
autonomic
He
shit.
turned into the Joker, dude.
No, that's
like,
all autonomic shit. He was not there yet. He wasn't awake.
That
That's
was
like
that's one of those
that's your
scary
brainstem.
knockouts.
That's your brainstem response. It's just making everything like contract and go. And I don't like seeing that.
I don't either, really. Like it's in the moment. The first time you're jumping out of your seat and you're like, oh my God. But then when they show the replay 3 or 4 more times, you're like, whoa, like, ow, dude. Like that's disgusting. The worst I've ever seen, in my opinion, that I've ever seen of that was my boy Ben Askren, Ben Funky Askren. Our CrossFit gym is named after him because he used to come there all the time. We would do Murph together. We would work out together all the time. He would come get massages, the whole 9 yards. And anyways, when he fought George Masvidal, Jorge Masvidal,
Jesus.
and I thought Jorge would win. Like I'll be honest with you. Like I just Ben got by in ONE FC by being just the best wrestler, and like whatever. He beat Robbie. We talked about he beat Robbie Lawler
And Bellator. He has belts in Bellator and ONE FC.
Because his wrestling is just so elite. But I mean, coming into the UFC, it's a different story. Fighting someone like Jorge, who he has that lightning fist capability. Anyways, I'm like, Jorge will probably catch him at some point. But to go out there, you got to understand, like, that's like our gym mascot. Ben lives near me. I know him personally. We're all watching it together. Like, here we go. Ben will do something. He'll probably maybe lose, but it'll still be fun to watch. 5 seconds, flying head kick or flying knee, and I'm like, speechless. What? What? His wife is just like, oh my God, and I'm just like, okay, well, there was that. But how he got knocked out and was just like done. Like that was the worst I've ever seen.
I was at Buffalo Wild Wings with a couple of friends, and we had just gotten our food and shit, and this fight like came on, and I was so stoked for it. I was like, holy shit, just like a in the candy store. Yeah. And I'm looking up. Bruce Buffer does the announcements. George is leaning up against the fence, kind of talking shit, smiling. Funky's over there smiling back. And then I look down to take a bite of a wing, and I look up, and Funky's asleep. And I was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I'm sure the whole place was like,
oh, dude. The whole restaurant
crazy.
Erupted. The whole restaurant erupted while I was like this. Crunch. And it was just like, I was like, what? Like,
what did I miss? What happened?
Did
you win? Bro, that was one of the most, it's the fastest, but I'm telling you, the way Ben crumbled, man, that might have been the nearest to someone dying in the octagon I've ever seen.
That's the definition of getting starched.
Yes.
You see the way he stiffened up, completely comatose? Like,
God,
that's what they mean when they say you got starched.
That was horrible, man.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's what like
what a trip he's gone through.
That guy is such a
shout out to George, man. George donated money. He wished him well. Wants to hang out with him in person, shake his hand and stuff. He's came out with a statement that says, like, dude, any guy that tough, like, he's got my respect. Like,
absolutely. Yeah, and that means a lot coming from a very tough guy,
Yeah, and a guy who talked freight train of shit too.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I mean?
sure. For sure. Yeah.
But that just goes to show that this game is just like all that shit lives in this game. When we get into real world shit, it's a completely different stage. It's like, this is here for performative aspect. Let me get
right.
Play the game of war. Let me fuck with you mentally, but I don't want you to die.
Sure. There's a few dudes. Been a few rivalries over the year. You can look at Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell. You can look at even Khabib and Conor. There's a few the rivalries that extend outside of the octagon, but they don't really want to.
Tito and
it's just a
better example. They fucking hated each other.
But it's more of a dick measuring competition. They don't want to actually kill each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's just a dick measuring competition type of a thing. And But yeah, to your point, yeah, it's more of like, hey, I just want to beat you in this fight. I don't want to kill you or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah, this was wildly. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys, ranking wise, literally just swap rankings. Maybe Leon won't drop that far to 9. I mean, I could see it happening. Sorry, as I plug in my charger, but I could totally see a complete swap where Prates is now 4, maybe 5, depending on where everyone else is in that division. But I think Prates made a giant statement, like, "Hey, I'm not a slouch. I'm not here just effing around. I'm not here just participating. Like, I'm real." You know what I'm saying? And I don't know who. There's speculation of who he could fight next. I think actually they were talking about him fighting the guy that we're gonna talk
Morales?
about in a second. Yeah, Morales. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. I can definitely see that. That would be just savage. But it does beg the question: what happens to Leon Edwards? You're a former champ. You lost that championship. You just got hurt. So you've lost to now Prates, but you definitely lost to a monster of a guy we'll talk about in a second, Brady. You lost to a former champ. So you're not losing to schmucks. You beat Covington, you were the champ. You were the champ, champ stuff. But like, you lost 3 in a row now. And this was a unanimous decision. Obviously, you lost the belt. Muhammad's no slouch. We'll see him tomorrow. Brady, you won by a submission. He wore you down. And then you just got next level TKO'd. He'll still be top 10 in the UFC, but like, what do you do now? What do you do with a guy like, if you're Dana or Hunter or any of the guys, what do you do with a guy like Leon Edwards?
He needs to take a year off. Like, after getting knocked out like that, he needs to take some time. He needs to take some time, recover. And by a year, I mean like at least 6 months training, no training. At least 6 months, no training. And who knows how his camp went? He might have gotten knocked out in camp. I don't know. But like, you have a lot of accumulative damage that's like, don't jump back into it. You're not going to jump back into a title fight. You're going to jump back into a number 10 or something like that, or, and you're going to be a lower ranking. You're going to fight somebody who you can get a win from. So you might as well set yourself up for success, and just not fight for a while.
They're going to give him Mearshart. I'm kidding. Totally different division. No, you're right. I wonder if he will do that. I don't know if you can see him doing that. Former title. So there's a former champion. There's a difference between former champion and just like former top contender or top 3, top 5 fighter, where like you were the champ, you tasted that, you defended it a couple times. And you lost it, and now you've lost 2 in a row.
3.
There's either, well, you lost it to Bilal, and then so 3 in a row, and then you lost 2 more on top of that. It's one of those where it's like, is your ego too big to allow yourself the time it is needed, like you're explaining, to just take a break, man, and come back. You're not that old. I think he's in his 30s. He's not 33? That old. I think you're spot on, actually. 34. So very close. Like, you're not that old. You can take 6, 9, 12 months off, regroup, figure some shit out, look at the tape. What did you do well? What did you do wrong? What led to losing 3 fights in a row? And then come back and see what's up, But I just don't know if a former, like a non-champ, my point is a non-champ, I could see very much doing that. But a guy who's tasted gold, he wants it back so bad. Is he going to drop the ego a little and just be like, okay, fine, I'll take time off? Or are we going to see him early next year or mid next year? I don't know. I hope he takes the time off.
Yeah.
He needs it. You can't keep getting work like this,
hey,
man.
But he had a good performance in the first round. Landing early, was successful. Kind of got his timing. Was getting his timing down. And then engaged in the wrestling, which I don't think anybody saw coming. But he engaged in the wrestling, clearly had the advantage. He should have went back to the well, you know.
Yep.
How easily he controlled him on the ground. The problem was Carlos did not respect it because he did no damage. If he had done some damage or really wore him down, it'd be a different story. But he didn't do anything. He was successful in the takedowns and some control, and then Carlos was able to stand up. But like, you got to do something much more significant to. And then make him fear the takedown. Take him down again, right off the rip, off the second round bell. Take him down again, you know, and just start the round that way, because you know where he's dangerous. He's not dangerous on the ground. So, you know, that mistake led him to getting knocked out. And, you know, against a really powerful striker in Carlos Prates. I mean,
Carlos is a problem. He is a problem for that division. I really think so. Did we talk about our picks for this one? If we didn't, you said Carlos second round KO.
Yeah.
Which you were spot on. So this is 2 in a row now. No, 2 out of the last 3 that you got right. Sorry.
Hold on.
And I said Carlos unanimous decision. What's up?
Oh, Jody Lynn. Sorry guys, I got to run. Just arrived at Morristown for Herd. Love you, Jody. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Appreciate the comments. Appreciate the engagement. Appreciate everything. You've always been a loyal day one. I'll let Jeremy finish that sentence.
Day one. Yeah. Definitely appreciate the crap out of you, Jody. You're always you keep it real. She's the one who sent me credit where credit's due. She sent me the video today of Khabib and it was talking about him and Connor and I told her the same thing. I was like, that's why it's hard for me to respect people like that. Like, I respect them, but like,
he made a mistake, dude. He made a mistake.
There's mistakes, and then there's starting a fucking brawl.
The only one he's ever made. Connor's made
sometimes all it takes is one.
Connor's made a truckload of them, and then the difference.
You can't excuse one guy's behavior, but based on another guy.
I can if one comes out and says like, "Yeah, I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that," and owns it like a man. That's what Steve did, and Connor hasn't done that with anything he's done. So,
you see this? Do you know what I would do? You know how fit I am, Dylan?
I would drown you.
My fitness, although it has nothing to do with my fighting ability. At least I'm super fit.
So, at least you're super fit. Yeah.
I wish there was a translation between being super fit. But anyways, Jody, we love you. Thank you for being here. We're almost there. So, yeah. So what a fight. Man, geez Louise. And then this was, I guess we shouldn't be that surprised. Michael Morales is a gigantic welterweight with very heavy hands. But even Vegas thought Sean Brady was going to win this fight. Not a heavy favorite, but like enough that it's just like, all right, he's as much of a favorite as Shevchenko was, and we saw what she did. Different, we'll talk about that in a second. But like, this was, I can't remember the last time I saw Sean Brady looking like he had no idea what the hell was going on. Like he was just like, wait, what? You look at this guy. I would say this right here against Bilal 3 years ago. 3 years ago was the last time we saw Brady being like, oh my God, what's going on? Since then, he murdered Gastelum in that fight in its entirety. He won a 5-round decision against a monster, Gilbert Burns. He beat a former champ. He submitted, outlasted, outgained. And then all of a sudden, this Morales fruitcake-looking dude comes out of not comes out of nowhere, but like, dude, that was a striking clinic that Morales put on Brady, and I was not prepared for it. No. Neither of us were actually. You called Brady decision. I called Brady TKO. Easy. Oh, that was a striking clinic.
You're out of your fucking mind.
Dylan,
it was not a striking clinic. That's a fucking mirage.
Tell me why it wasn't. Tell me why it wasn't.
Because he didn't show sophistication in his striking. He showed up with a good game plan. He stayed incredibly low in his stance. He kept his feet back. He was ready to sprawl at any moment's notice. But boy, oh boy, does that boy have some fucking power. That's like not to be fucked with. And he is a danger, but he's not a sophisticated striker by any stretch of the imagination. He's got power. He can kickbox a little bit, but let me tell you, that was not a clinic. Okay.
What am I going to do with you, man?
He was able to land some powerful shots on Brady that made Brady very cautious. And then the knees up the middle, scare you for shooting, because of how big and powerful, how long. I mean, that dude's got like a fucking 81-inch reach or something like that. Like
he's a gigantic welterweight, dude.
He's humongous.
Huge.
And hits like a Mack truck. I mean, Brady got caught. He got caught and couldn't do anything. The thing that needed to happen here, which you're going to fucking bring up your boy Mariah, but like he needed to wrestle early. You don't need to be feeling out this big, powerful striker. You need to be fucking handling him on the ground. And
why do you think guys do that? Like, why?
Dude, it's so
they
hard
want to prove themselves.
It's so hard.
Yeah, but when you're that good of a wrestler, at least do it. He didn't even do it.
He's not because I think it's when that stance presents himself. It's like, okay, I know he's prepared for the shot, so he's looking for a knee up the middle. So now I gotta move around. I gotta set this up a little bit. Stay completely away, like far away, which he did a good job at. But when he was trying to engage in the distance, he didn't come close enough. He came in, but then that was still just in Morales' striking range, which got him caught a couple of times, which made him even more apprehensive to shoot or close that distance because fuck, what are you going to eat coming in? And it's because he gave him too much time to dance around on the feet and get more comfortable. And if you allow that to happen, it's not going to work in your favor against a big, powerful, way longer than you striker. Just name of the game, man. He didn't get off what he needed to get off soon enough, and he paid for it. But no, not a striker.
Kind of sad to see it. I was like, what? Wait, what? Like, what's going on here, dude? Like, you knocked down the second, third rounds. I'm like, okay, whatever.
What were our picks on this one?
Just to get worked. We both, like I said, you picked Brady in a decision. I picked Brady TKO in third round. I thought Brady would get the job done.
Okay. So you said you went 7 for 1. You lying fuck. You lost.
Shut up.
3 fights. 2.
2. Suck it, bruh.
Well, I'm just bitter.
My phone is buzzing like crazy. I have 10 minutes. Like everybody needs something from me right now. So,
you have 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm thinking these two fellas need to fight each other. We need Morales, we need Prates, we need Ecuador versus Brazil, and I think it has to happen. And hell, I mean, if Leon doesn't go anywhere, maybe these two fight each other. I don't know, but again, that would be a rematch.
Let's move on.
But Michael and Prates need to fight each other. The co-main event. I don't know if there's really much to say other than Valentina did Valentina
Shevchenko shit. That's what happened.
I think I hats off to Zhang for thinking she could bang with her, and she's wanted this since 2021 or something. But hey, careful what you wish for sometimes, because you might just get it. And
she was just too big, too powerful, too dominant. Like it's just so hard for Weili to deal with. She took some brutal shots up the middle, really compromised her endurance and ability to get on the inside and really initiate the wrestling. She got wrestled herself. So, when you're that close in wrestling prowess and you got somebody bigger on the other side of you, it's going to be really hard to win that battle. You're just not.
I give Weili credit for one of the things you just said, poker face of the year, because she got kicked a few times. And a lesser person would have at least showed some sort of she didn't really do facial wise. It was just like, that should have broken 5 ribs. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, wow, that was very impressive. So I hope she goes back down. We'll see her. And I'm sure Mackenzie Dern will fight. And I love Mackenzie, but sorry, you're not going to be holding that belt for much longer, especially a pissed off Weili. I mean, Mackenzie's great, but Valentina, I don't know who she fights next, who's even left. If she goes up, she goes down. Who the hell knows? There was rumors that we're gonna see Kayla Harrison probably at the White House. I have to imagine, if maybe even sooner. Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes. We'll see that happening. There was rumors that Valentina might move up and participate in that, but we'll see.
They fought twice already.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, hats off Valentina for that was a striking clinic. All right. This one was very so I called in, I don't know if you heard it the other day. I called in Monday or Tuesday to Savon, and I said, hey, you remember Anthony Pettis? So this is like, duh, of course everybody remembers Anthony Pettis. Again, another guy, he would come to the gym, Milwaukee guy, you see him all the time. I would see him at our kids' soccer games and stuff. So like of course I was a fan. I used to get my haircut at his barbershops. And of course, a big fan. But his glaring hole, and the reason he lost the title and can never get it back, is he couldn't wrestle worth a shit. Like he just couldn't. He would get taken down and it would be game over. Almost every time. Benson Henderson, he won the title against Benson Henderson because he caught him in an arm bar. But like outside of that, he just taken down. And that's what we saw. It's like Jack prepared very well for submission defense. I give him credit for that. But, dude, you know who you're going against. You know Islam wrestles bears, bro. He is going to try to take you down. You have to have –
that was Khabib, not Islam.
Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Same but different. But you know that is coming. You also know, to be realistic, that it's very hard to defend someone who's that good of a wrestler. But dude, you gotta just be on your game with that. Like you can't, like Islam could have grabbed him with one arm and taken him down. It's like, dude, what are you doing, Jack? Now, word on the street is, what I've heard is that Jack may have had a rib injury of some sort. Who knows if that's true? I know Savon was very adamant that there's no way he had to have had some kind of injury. Obviously, the calf after taking all those kicks clearly was hurt. But going into the fight, there was rumors on the street that he had a rib thing going on. But it's just disappointing when you know what a guy like Islam likes to do, what he's done to everybody else, but you were so ill prepared for it. Disappointing. That's the word that comes to my mind.
Yeah, he had to have been hurt.
Had to have been hurt in the sense that, like, if he wasn't, he would have defended the takedown better, or you could just tell something was off.
I could tell something was off. I don't know how it would have transpired. It's too hard to tell, but he clearly was in agony from. I think he was hurt going into that fight. To be honest, just the way he came out.
That's what the word on the street is, man.
I mean, he came out like nothing I'd ever seen Jack do. He came out grimacing. He came out like biting his mouthpiece and like really just like looked angry. And I don't know. Something was off. Something was weird. It didn't seem like he was himself. And a rib injury would really explain a lot of like his inability to strike the way he wanted and then to nullify any of the grappling. All he could do was defend a submission when it presented itself.
Which was hella impressive. I mean,
yeah,
that should have gained points right there. I mean, good Lord. Do you follow JDM on the socials? Because I do, and you know you don't see every post, but like I haven't seen anything about any possible injury. He doesn't strike me as a guy that would be like, yeah, I had this thing or whatever. You know, he's going to keep that under wraps. He's just a tough dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a no.
He'll talk about it eventually. I haven't seen anything yet, but
if something happened, I think eventually it'll come out. But I haven't seen anything. I don't know if you've seen anything that he's posted, like, hey, I was sick or something. I don't know.
No, he was in agony though. It sucks for Jack because if that's the case, you know, it's like, damn, he didn't really get his full shot at like showing what he could do. So I think this one, unfortunately, because of the dominance, injury or not, the UFC is not going to be entertaining it for a while.
A rematch? That was my next question is championship fights. If the champion loses, you often see that rematch in the not so distant future.
But if you see a domination like this, they don't.
But when you see a domination like that, then it's like
they want things to move on.
So. Yeah, I mean, down the line, let's fast forward 9 months, and Jack has got back in, and he's beaten two guys. I don't know, fill in the blank. Two substantial dudes, and Islam is still the champ, and there's no other logical opponent than JDM. Then I think we can see a rematch, but I don't think they're going to be like, hey, in 6 months, automatic rematch. It just was too lopsided of a fight. But I think that would be best case scenario, because then if you're Jack, when you're that good, okay, Danny Spiegel, CrossFit, right? She's so strong. Gi, so strong. We've just been saying for years, dude, chill out on that for a little bit, because even if you lose a little bit, you're still so much better than the rest of the field at it. Get better at the rest of fitness, And then people get frustrated. It gets really frustrating because you're like, dude, like, come on, So someone who's as well-versed in boxing and striking as Jack is, still do it, but cater your training to just straight up, like, we're going to grapple and wrestle and just bring in dudes that are just substantial. It didn't look like it, man.
No, man. You're talking about a very injured Jack potentially, and then on top of that, like, dude, he was hurt bad. He was hurt bad for sure.
You hurt my feelings, that's for sure.
But and then often it's like what are you gonna do? You know what Islam's gonna do. Do you have enough time in your camp? There's not enough. Here's the thing. There's not enough fucking days on this earth left for Jack to nullify what Islam brings on the ground. Like for if they're both on the ground, like he's not gonna win those exchanges. You know what I mean? For him to keep it off the ground is a different story. And that could come if he's not injured. And so I don't think we're ever going to find out, unfortunately. It sucks.
I hope so, man. I like, obviously, worst case scenario is they do rematch and the same thing happens, But I think if Jack was to, you're right, there's not enough time in the world to get that much better, that much more prepared. But I think there's enough to get more prepared enough.
No, look, fighting, and that's what he did. He brought on Craig Jones, and he's been working with Craig for a while, and he nullified Bilal's wrestling and all that. Like, he's been doing exactly what he's supposed to. Nullified fucking Gilbert Burns, all that shit. But fighting is not about beating that guy at his game. Fighting is about not allowing that guy to implement his game, because your game implemented is better. Like, you're better at implementing your game than the other guy. So it's not about matching your skill set on the ground to Islam's game. No. You're going to waste.
No. That's not what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying Jack has time to become as good of a wrestler. I'm saying Jack has time, if our scenario played out 9 months from now, whatever. He has time to up his ability to defend a takedown more efficiently, more aggressively, more whatever. That's what I'm saying. I don't think, it's like trying to get stronger for a competition that's in a month. That's not going to happen. But you can get better.
I don't think he could. I don't think
because of what?
Shot. Because of the injury, I don't think he could stop the shot.
But that's a hypothetical injury. We don't know. We have no idea. For all we know, he could have been.
Pretty clear, dude.
I think you have a good sense as a fighter. I think too, but we don't know. We don't know. So let's say there was no injury. He just got that outclassed. Fast forward 9 months, whatever. They fight again. I think there's time between now and then for Jack to almost solely focus on just, hey, I can't get taken down so easily. You can get taken down, but not. I mean, it was like no problem, bro. Like tackling your kid or something.
If there was no injury, for one, the rematch is not happening, and two, he's not going to win the second fight, and it's going to be the same outcome.
I think you're right. I hate to say it. I wish you were wrong, but I think you are onto something, and it's just unfortunate because whether Sevan liked him or not, I just really you got it up. Nice. I just really enjoy Jax, his style, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's such a talented son of a bitch that, like, it was like, damn, dude, like, that might be the last we see you in a title fight. And that just sucks. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
nothing against Islam. I don't hate Islam. I know Savan hates Islam. I don't hate Islam at all.
Can you see this scrolling?
I can. Yes. This is
So-
a really good fight night card, man.
How are you on time? You got a couple minutes?
I can go for like 5 more minutes if we cruise through this real quick.
Okay, let's just touch on a couple here. Let's see.
Some really good fights.
Dalby, Perez. Oh, fuck, didn't mean to do that. Okay, here's the thing. Fuck all these nerds.
Fuck all these hoes.
Fuck all you hoes. Biggie. Okay, let's Jack Hermanson versus Oral Bobby. Fucking however the fuck you say that. Who you got?
Hermanson is. I think I don't know enough about Orlabi. So my take on him is like, I don't know. For all I know, he could be the fucking next coming in the up and comer in the welterweight. I don't really know, but I do know Jack has quote unquote proven himself. I think he's a well-rounded fighter that poses problems for everyone he's fought. So I give the edge to Jack in this one, but that's a very uneducated take because I just don't know enough about Orlabi.
I got the cat from Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Any particular reason?
No.
Okay. I didn't know. Maybe there was something you knew that I didn't know.
I don't believe in Jack. I don't think he can get it done.
Okay.
Just been a top 15 contender for a while and just not just seemingly just on the decline.
Yeah, he has the experience, but that's very accurate. He's kind of on the decline.
I got Vulcan over Alonzo. I don't think Alonzo has any kind of gas tank past the first round. He misses weight a ton. Vulcan Ozdemir is a motherfucker. I mean, we could see a knockout by Vulcan here.
I think I'm gonna agree with you as much as I want my brother to do work. I think the gas tank is definitely an issue. And Vulcan is. I mean, he hits. They both hit hard, but he has hammer fists, and I think he gets it done. I think we're going to look at a second rounder.
Okay, now we get into the big one.
I can't believe how. Let me rephrase this. It's funny to see how confident Ian is. I don't know if you've seen any of the press conferences, the weigh-ins. I've been watching these, and I'm just like, you have to be confident, right? I mean, you're not going to go like, oh my God, am I going to win? So you have to be confident on some level. But he is really confident. And I'm sorry, but Ian, I don't even know if you look at his record. I don't even know the last guy he like knocked out. He wins wars. So I'll give him that. But I don't know, man. Bilal just lost the belt. He's hungry. He's angry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to give Bilal the edge here. I don't know. I think it'll be a good fight.
I like your take. I do. I got Ian. I don't think that Bilal is going to be able to initiate the wrestling like he's planning. And I don't think he stands a fucking candle's chance in hell, on the feet.
On the feet, yeah.
And
not to mention Gary's got a very long reach advantage on him.
And we've seen how evasive he is. He stays away. He's got great cage awareness. I mean, stays away from danger at all times. He's not going to be in danger on the feet. And then as long as he can stuff a couple takedowns, I think he's going to be fine.
I think you're on something. He's a big welterweight as well.
If I could call it, I'd say a head kick knockout by Ian.
Okay. All right. I like that. All right. Head kick knockout.
And by the way, I am a fucking Ian Machado Gary hater. I'm a Bilal hater for sure. But
yeah, I don't really like either of these guys. We're being honest with.
But here's the thing. I listened to a presser with Ian on the Mac Life, which I'm sure it was covered by a bunch of people, but I just watched it on the Mac Life. But I saw a side of Ian that I'd never seen before. He's probably always been this guy, so fair play to him. But the questions he was being asked were a lot of he answered them honestly and truly, and I liked that personality. I didn't like when he was real, like verbose Conor McGregor, like trying to be Conor McGregor 2.0. He just
That
seemed
got
like he
annoying.
was a humble version of himself, answered every question with a bit of humility, but still that fighter mentality of like, nah, like I'm still the best in the world. They asked him if he should be deserving of the title, of a title shot next versus Shavkat Rakhmonov, and he's like, look, Shavkat's a beast. I lost to him, and so to be honest, yes, Shavkat would be deserving, but he's out on an injury, so I'm the guy. And so like just even to answer a question like that, I go like, all right, you got like look, if you hadn't listened to it, it's on the Mac Life.
I will. I'm gonna
it
have
was
to.
Fight Week presser. It's not the most recent. It came out earlier this week, maybe Monday or Tuesday or something like that. But honestly, it did. I liked his answers and I felt his confidence without him trying to be so fucking arrogant about it all, And so I think I got Gary, and Gary had made me like him a bit more for sure.
Dig it. I like that. I love all that. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out for sure.
All right, here we go.
This one right here, man,
buddy. This is gonna be a motherfucker of a fight.
I don't even know what to. What is the? So we have a crazy height difference.
Yeah.
I mean that's big. There's some that are like, not so much. What is there a reach? Does it show reach?
Yeah, 72 and a half versus 75. So it's not terrible. I'm surprised that Arman's reach is 72 and a half.
Yeah,
that's a lot longer than I would have anticipated from somebody who's 5'2".
Yeah, seriously.
He's got 3 inches on Sevon.
What's up, brother? Yes, we're almost done, brother. We're almost done, but glad that you're back. My take on this one, they're both monsters. I just think Arman is more of a monster. He's not the number one contender for no reason. He is a monster. He has beaten some savages. On the other hand, Dan Hooker is I don't know if you've seen the clips of him. It's like him in his corner between rounds, and he's just like, I love this, and he's like bleeding and just like this guy is.
He's always been that guy,
savage.
Yeah.
So
but on one of the best fights I've ever seen against Dustin Poirier back in UFC Apex when we were all fucking COVID shit. But
so he's gonna bring it.
Check this out. I'm looking on DraftKings right now. Arman Tsarukyan is a -650 and Dan Hooker's a +470.
What?
Throw a little bit of cash on Hooker.
Yeah.
Throw a little bit of cash on
seems
Hooker
a bit disrespectful to Hooker. I mean, that's not odds for a guy as successful. I know his record doesn't always show it. Like he's lost a decent amount of fights, but this guy is a son of a bitch. Like he is a problem. And Arman, I get it. Like we all understand, but to those odds are insane to me. But I still do think Arman gets it done. I think we're gonna be in for a 5-round war.
Yeah.
We're gonna either see a 5-round war, split, maybe unanimous Arman, or Arman will find a way to stop him early. It's not going to be. I don't see anything in between happening. I'm open to being wrong. What do you think?
Quick note: Arman wrestled Hamzat, and it was like a complete stalemate the whole time.
Wow, that's insane. That's
Arman
crazy. Was Hamzat drunk?
No. It's just amazing. It's a wrestling match versus an MMA match. It's a lot different. And Arman was able to. He was a little bit. Hamzat had more control, more presence, and stuff like that. But like all in all, wasn't able to get anything done against Arman. Arman nullified pretty much everything and had his own glimpses of success too, which is shocking for a guy that small versus a guy that big. And Hamzat, but obviously we're going to see some wrestling from Arman.
Yeah, he's gonna have to.
I don't know if he can keep Hooker there. I don't know. I think Hooker's gonna do a lot of standing up. I think he's going to get up fairly easily, not easily, but he's gonna show that he can get up time and time again. It's gonna wear him down a little bit, but Hooker's a fucking savage, and I think Hooker's gonna get some strikes off. However, this is the biggest, the best hybrid we've seen as far as wrestling prowess and striking combined, unless you include Ilya, which Ilya's right up there for the argument as well. But like, I think that as far as like total range of striking availability, Armin takes the cake because Ilya is much more of a boxer, less of a kickboxer. And Armin can kickbox like a motherfucker. And he has some crazy kicks. If you remember, there was a kick, he threw an axe kick against Charlie Olives, who's also a big fuck. And he won that fight in decision. Charlie almost got him in the end there, but he threw an axe kick to Charlie, which is where you throw basically a front kick
and then come down with the heel. Yeah,
with your not a front
savage,
kick, but a round kick, but straight up the middle, just like a push kick or a and that leg comes all the way up and down, and you're trying to drive your heel on top of their head or their jaw face, whatever.
Sure.
And he threw one of those against Charlie Olives, and Charlie dodged it barely, but the still frame of Armin throwing it, he was kissing his thigh.
Yeah,
that's how his dexterity of his feet and flexibility that he has his hips. He launched his rear leg up, and I swear to God, his fucking thigh, his quad was on his face.
I remember seeing that and thinking that hurt to watch. My groin pulled itself just watching that shit. I was like,
I mean, absolutely.
God. Did you see they might do Max Holloway, Charlie Olives for the BMF? That might be happening.
I love that
rumor mill, but I think that would be awesome. But anyways, yeah, to your point, this kid is your hybrid comment of wrestling, striking prowess. He poses a problem. Maybe that's why Vegas is like, and you know what's funny? As literally, I don't know if you heard my phone buzz 15 seconds ago, but DraftKings, I got a message from DraftKings about this. Armin takes on Hooker tomorrow. Make your or whatever. It's like win something. I'm like, our phones are freaking listening to us. They're like, that's crazy. You know, like, you say it, and then 1 minute later, my phone was like, yeah, we should advertise that. But real quick, yeah, you guys are done already. I'm kidding. Hope you guys had a great show. I'll probably catch it later tonight. I'm gonna go to. You got any plans? I'm going to.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna go fucking heel on this. I'm going fucking Hooker, dude. I think Hooker.
I figured that you were trending in that direction. That you were gonna.
I think Hooker can get it done. I'm going Hooker.
You can too. I think
I'm going Hooker for the money, baby. Let's go. Okay. I'm much bigger. I love Armin. Win. I love Armin, but I'm just such more of a bigger fan of Hooker, and I love the dog, and I think he's such a fucking animal. I think he can get it done.
He is. And I hope if you do play some bets, I hope he wins so you win some money.
I appreciate that.
I'll be happy for you. But no, I have in about 10 minutes away from me, I have it's called the Lux. It's just like the golf thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they got the targets out there. You got the screen and you could play any course. So me and a buddy of mine over there at 7.
Who you got in this fight?
I'm going to go I have to go Armin just because of everything we talked about how good he is. But definitely wouldn't be surprised if Hooker pulls it off. But I'm going to say Armin. I'm going to say either he finishes him early, Hooker gets too caught up, and takes it on the chin, or it'll just be a 5-round epic war, which I hope is that. That's what I want.
I need to get the bad taste out of my mouth from the last main event. You know what I mean?
Yes. We need a war where it's not lopsided. One guy is just going to lay on you the whole time. So, that's my call. That is my call. I'm stoked
for it.
Hell yeah. Any plans this weekend? You and the fam bam? Hunting?
I'm going hunting, baby.
Yeah?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Have you gone yet, or is this the first
weekend? I've been out every weekend since the season opened, since September 29th. I've been out every single weekend, but I've hunt on public land. It's a bitch. It sucks. You got a lot of people, horses and other hunters and just shit that moves the deer and makes them scared. And just, it's hard. It's a motherfucker to stalk deer. I'm not in a land where you stalk deer. Most people sit in tree stands. I don't do that. I fucking huff it around the hills of this public land and I got 8 miles in last weekend.
Wow. That's savage,
just fucking
dude.
huffing it with a pack on and my bow and getting after it. And I like it for the fitness. I like it because it's more of a challenge. And I'm not a fan of baiting, which is it's legal here in Ohio, where you can sit in a stand and pour some corn underneath your tree stand and wait for a deer to come and eat it. And then you shoot it, and
I don't like that.
I'm not a fan of that. I think I respect the animals on like, hey, you're in their world, you better go find them. And if you can't do that without baiting them, then you don't deserve to kill them. So that's my fucking.
It's like throwing dynamite in the pond to fish.
Yeah, it's hunt fish in a barrel. You know what I mean? Like,
you got to go out and do the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that. That's dope. All right, cool, man. Yeah, enjoy that. These fights right here are freaking 1 your time, 1 Eastern, 12 Central. So maybe we'll review this one next week. The following week, I think, is another fight night, if I'm not mistaken. So we got a couple fight nights before we get Marab and Peter Pan. Someone made a Marab. If you go to Marab's page on Instagram, he literally made him
Peter Pan versus
Peter Pan. I'm just like, God,
versus the machine.
Savage, dude. That's savage. But we'll be back. We're trying to do a show a week, right? So just to, maybe we won't even do such a MMA centered show. Maybe we talk about some other current events or whatever. But yeah, for Garrett and KDL and Jody and anyone else that may have popped in, always appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
And to Sevon, who told me I don't let you talk ever. I think I did a pretty fucking good job at letting you talk. I think I'm giving myself a pat on the back for letting Dylan have at it today.
Yeah.
So
you're good, man. You're good.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, hey, enjoy your weekend.
Whoever's got the floor has got the floor. I don't, I know he's just busting balls and shit, but it
makes me cry.
I'd like him to come on or at least pop in and fucking. I'd like to fight with him a little bit.
He'll get on here one day, and I'll tell you what might help. And I was gonna try to make it a surprise, but I almost got Darian Weeks to come on this week. Sevon UFC show OG, professional fighter, fought in the UFC, amazing dude. We've been talking back and forth, and we're gonna get him on one of the. He said Fridays work out better for him, so we're gonna get him on one of these shows and let him just, that's a dude that you want to hear and definitely more than me and learn from. So yeah, we'll get Darian Weeks one of these weeks, and I'm sure Sevon will eventually quit being a bitch and come on here and chop it up. And
KDL says Maso Menos, which to the uninitiated, that means more or less. Because I'm Mexican.
I knew you added value, you freaking beaner. But
half breed.
Yeah, half breed. You guys, you're like the Blade of Mexico. All of their strengths, none of their weaknesses.
You look like Blade, dude.
I'm not dark enough, dude. I got to turn the light off now. No, anyways, I'm gonna head over, get some golfing in, and show people what's up. Maybe pick up a few chicks. You know what I'm saying? Maybe do a couple of these. Yeah. But you guys have a fucking awesome weekend, and we appreciate each and every one of you.
Daywalker, KDL. My man.
That's right. More like Gay Walker.
Hey.